Hey everybody, Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And always remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Every bit helps. I want to talk about how to end a technical presentation. And the way you could possibly end it is a callback. Ever heard of one? Well, they're used in stand-up comedy quite a bit. Essentially, what it is if you refer to something when you're talking at near the end of the presentation, you refer back to that thing. It really is a great idea to do because it ties a nice bow on the entire presentation. And it shows that perhaps that you actually put some thought into your presentation too, because you're referring back to something that you said earlier. You didn't just get up there and wing it, because if you did, you likely wouldn't have been able to come up with a callback because it takes some time and some effort to really think of something that's useful and thoughtful to say when it comes to the callback. So, for instance, I used to work in medical devices, more specifically in spinal implants, more specifically in orthobiologics. Essentially, I worked on dead people's bones. Well, more specifically, I was the engineer who was in charge of designing implants, spinal implants made out of human cadaver bone, and that would require trips to the tissue bank from time to time. So during my presentation, I could mention an issue that I had at the tissue bank working a piece of equipment. So I mentioned that during the presentation. And so not near at the end of it, or perhaps one of the last things I say about the last thing I say during the presentation is something like, I'm sure I won't have as many problems answering your questions as I did working that piece of equipment back at the tissue bank. And then I can then say that I could take questions at this time. And maybe you'll get a chuckle because they'll remember you mentioning the issue that you had with that piece of equipment at the tissue bank during the presentation, especially if you put it in the form of a story, because people like to hear stories. So if at the end of your presentation you say something like I just said, hopefully I'm sure I won't have as much problems answering these questions as I did working that piece of equipment at the tissue bank. Well, then they know, okay, that's calling back to what you said before. It ties a nice bow on the presentation, and then you can take questions. You get people in a relaxed state. Maybe they laughed at what you said, and it's all good. So try it. The idea of a callback, again, what a callback is harkening back to something that you said during your presentation at the end of your presentation. It's worked really well for me. And if it works well for you, let me know. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I am the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And always remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Every bit helps. Thanks. Have a great day.